Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more of the Roottrees Are Dead. And, yeah, well, I spent a bit of time before recording just kind of staring at the family tree and the evidence, just trying to see if anything shook loose. I did find another periodical. It was one that was mentioned in probably the very first episode, Teen Blast, which is where the Roottree sisters appeared. And it does say that Raina was once on the cover, so why don't we I don't think this will lead to much, but maybe an alternative picture for Raina? She did an interview. Oh, okay. Well, that might actually reveal something. So what do we have? Team Blast. That's Raina. Brother Trouble. New gossip. Oh, because that's her cousin, uncle's troubled TV show. How to know if he's Raina Sweet 16. Okay, so there we go. There's a picture of Raina. So we can add that. Well, you'd read the article in a sec, but that's going to be her. Alternate picture there. Right, let's go back and have a look at this. From 94, also mentions TMS and Brother Trouble. In an interview, Raina talks about her inspirations. One important thing I learned from an early age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. My grandpa was a college professor. I think we've got that already. He also always told me that history was full of people from famous families who wasted their fame and fortune by taking it for granted. Instead, he told me I should go out and use my name to accomplish something. I think he may have practiced that lecture a lot because I have other people in my family that have also made the Roottree name famous for things besides candy. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my... That's Lauren. That some of my friends tell me they had read in school. I took his advice and now I work with my mum designing clothing. I help decide what colours and patterns I want to model, and then she designs the clothes for the team of amazing men and women. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandma Laura... That could be important. Told me he was really proud of what we managed to accomplish. I don't think I had a spouse for college professor Clancy, so we've got a Laura here, so actually that does help some. So we've got a Laura Carlson there. Cool. Well, the other thing I was going to do, I was sort of looking at... We're getting down towards the bottom of these family trees now, and there's 4 spots left that I think would have the surname Roottree, and we have 4 Roottrees left on our allotted on our list. There's one here, Elias M's child. We've got the 2 here from Ronald. And the last one is... That might be... maybe it's 3. I thought it was 4, but maybe it's 3. Yeah. I was also thinking... I wonder if Kim LaRue goes here. I mean, there is always the chance that his child took their mother's maiden name. But equally, he could have married like another member of that family. I'm going to put that there for now. I think this is... Oh yeah, because there is another Rafferty. We've got a Chris Rafferty, which is his seller. It's the only sort of other name in this tree that could... Well, the only other name on the board that could bear the name Rafferty that makes sense. So I think that's probably the case. Interestingly, his spouse has a photo, which tends to mean they might have been the more famous of the 2. But what I was going to do, I think, is just sort of search for these other Roottree names. And just see if anything comes up for these. So we've got... I've already done this, haven't I? We've got Jack, Christina, and Tessa. I suppose I have Teen Blast now. Just do that. I can get rid of all these now. They've all been used. Alright. So let's look at the... Yeah, we'll have a look at this, I suppose. Okay, perhaps unsurprising. Let's look through the rest. I'm pretty sure I've done this, but I forget exactly when and how I've added some of these periodicals. I think I'll have already done. I'm pretty sure I'd have already done this on this. Okay, well that was my big idea. I wonder if, yeah, I mean, I wonder if some of these guys appear in the Team Blast thing as well. I suppose we could have a look. There was something about that, was it Brother Trouble? I wonder what... Ah. Let's have a look through this. So this is Raina's partner. Appeared on the cover of Team Blast a record 38 times, including 3 back-to-back months during the height of Brother Trouble. In the issues he wasn't on the cover, he was still mentioned quite often. You read every word of every article, and besides the fact he was married to Raina, only one thing seems relevant. A gossip section from 1996, about 8 months before their marriage, is called his TMS dating a Rootree. At a recent autograph signing, TMS told a Team Blast reporter he met a girl at a party in Malibu. Apparently, the cast of Brother Trouble gets together at Penelope's house once a year. Who's Penelope? And this time, TMS found love. The mega hottie had this to say. She's incredible, blah, 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 blah. From her posters, I think we found this. When our Team Blast reporter asked who the lucky girl was, refused to spill. One of the creators of Brother Trouble, Ron, married Penelope, who played TMS's mum on the show. And get this, Ron is a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters. Yeah, good, because I didn't have that. So now we've got Tessa Penelope Tessa Green. I wonder if one of these would be a Tessa, then. We do have a Tessa waiting. It would kind of make sense that she'd sort of take, you know, part of her mother's name, particularly if her mother was famous. Let's look for her as well, then. Penelope Tessa Green. Is it Green with an E or without? With. Mentioned a few times. Penelope's character was not really who teenage girls cared about. Very little gossip. Okay, well, what about Starlet? Or Silver Screen? Let's just do a search. A retired comedian. As a result for the Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno that claims she got her stand-up start and first did her famously raunchy breast milk cheese routine in the 80s before she was a TV star on Brother Trouble. The site claims she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances for fundraisers, doing more family-friendly material. Find a picture labelled Joker Lantern, as well as a different picture labelled Jack watching one of his mother's charity sets, 94. Okay, so Jack is one of their children, so that's good info. Let's have a look at that evidence. Okay, so we've got Jack, 94. So this is only a couple of years ago in like the timeline of the games. So 4 years ago. So he's probably the youngest child, I would guess. And then we also have Joker Land taking one of Penelope Tessa Green's fundraisers. Oh, no, he would be the older, because this is quite clearly a baby. Interesting. Okay, so, well, I think we have Jack Rootree now. So, we'll do that. We've got Penelope now. I wouldn't be surprised if this was Tessa, just, you know, keeping that sort of name alive in the family. And we're going to put baby. Anything gonna happen here? No? Okay. This picture was taken in, what, the 70s, wasn't it? So she'd be like in her 30s now, so she's probably not either of those things yet. Yeah, this is literally a year ago, so... I mean, by process of elimination, if those are true, then this must be Christina. I wonder if he'd have followed in his father's footsteps. We could maybe... Okay, what about looking up Chris Rafferty in one of these things? So this generation all had sort of non-traditional, like, creative jobs for the most part. I've looked up her by her married name. Oh no, that is her maiden name. Yeah, it makes sense these guys had that double-barreled name if they came from this marriage, if that's LaRue. It's disappointing there aren't 4 here that are correct. I mean, these... Unless he's older... He's surely not older now. This is only a year ago. Oh, kindergarten. What age do kids go into kindergarten in America? I think it's surely... I mean, it's only a year ago. It's got to still be baby, right? Chef. CEO. Okay. He was a lawyer, so there might be something about him in here. Seemingly not. Starlet, Team Blast, no. Nothing in the thing we found on this guide is given his mother's name, is it? I don't think I've seen this before. In an article from 68, you find a small section focusing on young, upcoming talent that Modern Music Monthly predicts will make it big. It is this to say about the LaRues. The LaRue sisters got their start doing session work for their great-uncle's record label. If you remember any songs from the 60s that feature the voices of kids, they were probably involved. Back then, they were credited as the Lucky LaRues. Now that he's passed, they've moved on to bigger and better ventures and are going by their full names. Diamond and Jane have been touring with some famous faces. Ever heard of the Roottrees? And are looking to release an album sometime next year. Youngest Kim, okay, so that is a sister, is about to step into a prominent role on Broadway, taking over for one of the children in Oliver. It's weird that I haven't found any entry for Kim then. They appear in other things. Oh, is there a periodical that... it's like for acting stuff? I think that makes sense, though. I don't see where else on the tree she would go. Still don't have miracles. Spouse's name. I might do this for if we do searches for the ones who I still don't know the spouse's name. That might bring some stuff up. I think we've seen this. I doubt he's ever been in Team Blast, but you never know. What about just a search? Oh. Miracle Network. That's quite bare bones. We have seen this. I'm just reading through it again. Miracle Network. I wonder if it appears anywhere else. Not in Team Blast, but... I've seen that. I doubt it's been in any of these. Well... Where did I get a photo of Chris Rafferty? He wasn't in the Free Spirits picture, is he? Chris? No. I think we've mostly done that. These ones haven't been locked in yet. Well, she has, but I guess not before I'd put that alternative picture in. These have all been locked in. Still don't know his mum's name, do we? I wonder if the ones who did advertising, I wonder if they had their own advertising agency. No, I've seen this. I wondered, do we know which agency produced those ads? I'm not sure where to go from here, honestly. I'm surprised none of... I mean, this one I don't really know, but... When was this taken? Don't know. I might have to pause and... have a bit of a think about things. Hang on. Okay, I've started looking at the names I still have to place. Actually, there isn't that many, so I think I'm just going to sort of Google these. But a couple of things did stand out. First of all, there's two Catrells here. There's a male Catrell, Sam, helpfully does say that's male, and a Stephanie Catrell. Now, there's only one place on this entire board left that makes sense. It's for Gwyneth Madsen to have married Sam Catrell and had Stephanie Catrell. There's their child, because there's only two names. Likewise, there's three Kelloggs. So it makes sense to me if Bonnie Hudson here married David the Third, because obviously David the Fourth is a child of David the Third, and then had two little Kellogg's down there. So yes, I think I'm gonna sort of Google search for these. I'm gonna kind of put these in here, because if you go down this list of names, there isn't any others where there's kind of like a male name leading to other similar surnames. In fact, most of the ones that are left are female, and I do have quite a lot of blanks at the moment for sort of female spouse names. Now, Garcia is obviously a Hispanic name. I was thinking November was African American, but it's possible she's Hispanic. I don't want to lock that in yet. That's a bit too much speculation. But yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause again because I'm just going to be doing a lot of Googling and running each of these names through the periodicals database and see if I get any hits. But I'll come back if I do. So hang on. Okay, so I got a hit for Bethany Kellogg here in Butler County Times. Mentioned very briefly in an article about a local high school science fair from March of this year, about 9 months ago, so high school. Apparently she did an experiment involving sunscreen and ultraviolet light. The article says she was inspired by her mother, Bonnie's fair skin. I think we have Bonnie down there. Yeah. So I'm going to put down... I think this is up to high school, because college is above high school, isn't it? I mean, I'm at English, so we have different sort of school grades and stuff here. But I think that probably is current. Didn't really lead on to anything else. Yeah, okay, well, the search continues. Okay, I found another page. This one spawned off of the Roottrees curse I looked up again, because I remember there was a couple of things that kind of did come off this. Thomas Overwood was a dead end, but this one, Chris Raff 75 at Prodigy. This is new. You find a simple page called The Art of Rafferty, copyright 1990-70 on Prodigy, that lists the author's email address as Chris Raff. Oh, so that is Chris Rafferty. I think that's Clark Rafferty's son. So how did this come up again? Ah, so he got in touch with the owner of the conspiracy site to take down the evidence. Okay. Below a bunch of gifts that say under construction, there are a few art pieces. He's an artist. I had him down as potentially advertising. That we can definitely change that. Me and my fiancée Lulu. A painting I did for my first year of college that I plan to give her when we get married in May. Go Tartans. Lulu. We got a... Okay. Could be Louisa. Helen, April... Yeah, Lulu. That makes sense. Okay, let's go with Louisa Garcia there as his spouse. There is an odd collage called Cousins, which needs to be made up of 3 scrambled images. The accompanying artist statement says, "We had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could, even some I've never met. Only a few of them got back to me, and my teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose. So those are the Roottrees sisters. So I had to get creative and use only my 3rd cousins. This includes Davy. He swims for Yukon. So this is actually from this year, or the year before, isn't it? So Davy, I actually have... The only Davy I have at the moment it could be is David Kellogg. And if he's swimming for a college, I guess we'll put him as college student. And Bethany's yearbook picture, she's Davy's younger sister. Okay, so Bethany Kellogg is younger. So we've got her as a student as well. And Stephanie, who is an only child. Okay, well we have Stephanie here. Chris's artwork has been added to evidence, but the cousin's photos will need to be unscrambled before you can use them. You've downloaded a new app, Pixpop, to edit the photo. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's have a look at these then. So, where are we looking? Photo of college student Chris Rafferty, referred to as self-portrait of me and fiancée Lulu. Okay. So let's add mugshots to our list, and I think we can... This may well lead to some getting sectioned off. I'll put Louisa in first, because if this does... Okay, what if he's a college student? Ah. Okay, so we've definitely got 4 locked in. We have Chris, Jack, Gwyneth, and Jason. Okay, interesting. Okay, we're getting a lot of spouses' names going in as well. So with Gwyneth, I had her as housewife, but then I realised that her mother Sam had been a farmer. I wondered if maybe she'd taken over the family farm. And I guess that was right. I was kind of just experimenting, but it seems like that was right. Okay, we're at 41 of 49 now. I'm not surprised these two haven't been locked in, because I'm not sure at all about those. We don't know about Stephanie's we're going to have a picture of soon, hopefully. November again was just speculation. Interesting that Tessa didn't go in as baby, unless she's now in kindergarten. I'll put that in for the next time, just in case that changes that. Alright, let's take a look at the scrambled one then. Pictures of Davy, probably that looks like a man in swimming costume. Bethany's yearbook picture, probably this. And Stephanie, who's an... Oh no, that's a yearbook, isn't it? Yeah. And Stephanie, who's an only child. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. So we've got Pixpop. Alright, let's do this one. So is it like a sliding tiles puzzle, I guess, is it? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, that's taking shape. There we go. Cho to my. What? I have no idea what that means. But I think that's a yearbook photo, didn't it, of Bethany? So let's go and put that. Let's go and put that in now. Oh, I didn't. Hang on. Bonk. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do this one. Oh, okay. This is rotated. What am I missing? Oh. That says middle school, doesn't it? So I guess she's not taken over as farmer yet. Oh, hang on. Keep forgetting to do this. Something middle school. Again, it's American things, but I think that puts her at that age. I don't think she's college. She's in middle school. I think those are two different things. Okay, let's do the last cousin picture now. Sliced. Okay. This one's a bit trickier. Oh, this is messing with my head a bit. Ah. How do I reset? Does this reset it? No. Ah. Okay. I want that one to go there. That one to go there. Then I can bring that in like that, right? I think you guys can probably see what I'm going for here, but I think it's going to take me a little while to get my head around this one. So I'm just going to pause while I'm doing this puzzle. Okay, so we got there in the end. It was a bit annoying, but we got there. Okay, let's have a look at that then. So this might well free up some more stuff. I think that's right, unless she's in college now? I don't think so, though. So I think that's right, I think that's right. I think that's right. But this one must not be right. Okay, I'm going to go back to baby on this one. Still not. So at least one of those four is wrong. She could be in college now? Depends when the photo was taken, wasn't it? Doesn't it? Though I think it was relatively recently. Let me think. Let's play around with these a little more. Oh! Okay, so I think, yeah, some of them are just the school grades I've got wrong then. I might go back to the other guy and see if he's a college student still. Okay, so we're getting the younger generation, didn't get any optional ones. What if we make you a college student again? God, we're getting there. We're only a few away. November, you're still a mystery. I'm going to pause again when I have a think. Okay, I've just been Googling within the game pretty much everyone. And I got a slightly different hit for, if you remember Brian Jones. He is the partner of the husband of Stephanie Jones here. I don't think I'd ever searched for him. But rather than saying there's nothing here about him, it says if you're looking for a different one to this, you may need to search a more local resource, which seems like a pretty big hint to me. So why don't we do this together? Why don't we search for Brian Jones? Local resource. Anyone I can think of is Butler County Times. Hello. We've got a new hit. There are many advertisements over the years, as well as a small article from '95, so 3 years ago, about Jones Graphic and Print. That could be important. The article is a piece about Brian Jones taking over his father's print company after 20 years. Brian seems to not have let it go to waste as a marketing opportunity during an interview portion. I've been in and out of that shop my whole life. My father taught me everything there is to know when it comes to getting the job done right, and getting it done quick. We've been a printing staple of Butler County for years, and even the Butler County Times uses us for their coupon pages a few times a year. Thanks, by the way. Haha. But still, whether you're a new client or one of our regulars, nothing will change. Come on down for the best prices on bulk printing anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. Or search for us online. I designed the website myself. Okay, so I think the key thing here is this. So why don't we spider search for that? Ooh, okay, got a bunch of stuff here. Jones Graphic and Print is a company that, according to its website, has existed in Butler County for some time. The website seems fancy. It even has frames. Lists the address, hours, and a few examples of clients and the type of work that was done for each. Stephanie Jones campaign, mailers, well, we've seen that. Roottrees Candy Company, various banners and posters, okay. Butler County, probably not relevant. Miracle Network, tour flyers, we've seen. Roottrees Motors. Now that, I think, is new information. We know that one of Miracle's children or grandchildren, can't remember, but he's a mechanic. Butler Summer Theatre, Children of Eden. I don't know if that will lead to anything, but let's do Roottrees Motors then. You've already seen. You don't find any trace of them on the internet as a local. Oh, okay. So again, they may be a local concern. Oh, hello. Got an ad. It seems Roottrees Motors used to be called Wilkins Motors. Okay. An ad for Roottrees Motors has run in every week's Butler County Times for many years, but was recently changed to include a picture. 3 different unique versions of the ad have been added to evidence. Now, just before I do that, let's go. Have I got a Wilkins anywhere? I mean, I think it's got to be, right? Probably she married him and he took over like her dad's firm or something, I guess. Let's have a look at the photos anyway. Oh, we've got an ad here. Wilkins Motors is now Roottrees Motors. We may have a new name, but we promise we're still the same family business. All that's different is that we joined a sweeter family. Funny noises? Need new oil? Come on down. We'll fix her up. Okay. Then we've got... Oh, what am I... Oh, okay, there's other pages. Your Pittsburgh area... Last page. Oh, hello. Tessa Roottrees. Oh, that's not the baby then. Our newest fixer learned all there is to know about cars from her Roottrees Motors parents. Blam. Okay then, so actually, this is Tessa. And she looks like a mechanic to me, so let's pop that in, and we've got a photo of her. Seems okay. So there's only one other Roottrees, and that's Christina, who looks like a baby to me. So we'll leave her like that for now. That was quite a rich vein of stuff. Now, was there another... Or was that it in terms of the new things? That might have been it. If we go back... it was this one. If we Google this... Musical by Stephen Schwartz, game designer by the name of Jeremy Johnston likes it. He decided to use it as a kind of Easter egg. This okay, is this an Easter egg? It might be an Easter egg. I think this is a clue to me. The Butler Summer Theatre. Website lists the credits of a musical, which seems to be the final show they perform. Cast list, no names irrelevant. Ooh. Below the cast, it lists the crew, and two things stands out. Posters and additional set design elements by Jones, Graphic Print, and choreography by November Studios. Now, November does obviously stand out. A local dance school. They advertise lessons for ballet and jazz classes. Let's see if they've got a local entry. Instead of November Studios, maybe they should have called this place No Mention Studio. Oh, right, nothing there. But, I mean, choreography, November, that to me seems a pretty big hint. Plus, we know this is the generation that had, like, sort of artsy-fartsy jobs. And I don't think choreographer's in here, but they do have dancer. Here we go. Ooh. We've locked in some good stuff. Christina, Tessa, and Zach now. He's locked in. Catherine Wilkins. Oh, we've got the top secret envelope.
To my genealogy genie. If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives. Congratulations. I knew you could do it. There are 2 more entries on the family tree I'd like you to consider. These last 2 are optional. You can summon me whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth. So make sure you're ready.
Okay, so this has changed our family tree, so we still have... where are the 5 pieces? 1, 2, mystery, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so EC was in Lauren's diary, and she was the one... he was in the... Yeah, I always thought that was Elias C. They were working on the farm. We can go back and read the entry again. It was the Sam one. Was it Sam? Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on the way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked their records and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. Eli apparently was riding his mini bike. Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons. Interesting. So who else do I have to lock in? I mean, optional ones, obviously. I think we're all done on kind of this side now. We've got a couple of blanks here and a blank here. Let's see if we can home in on these. So, now obviously Louisa... Okay, so this is all we have left. Helen Lennon, Joan Monroe, April Quaritch. April, November. I mean, it's a little bit on the nose, but I'll stick that in for now. I feel there must be something in some of Miracle's entries. His wife, Edith's sister. We got his wife though. Nothing about his wife here. same thing. Okay, anyway. Maybe that will... We're down to like 2 names. Helen and Joan. No idea where they go. Who is EC? Got to type these in. Let me just... How long is this episode? Let me just check how long we're at. Okay, 52 minutes. I think I'm going to have to go back through a lot of evidence and read stuff and so on. What I might do then is kind of pause, and I'll just come back if I find anything that I think is relevant. But we'll try and get it done in this episode. So let me just... I'll pause here while I have a think and a bit of a read. Okay, I was Googling sort of the names in Miracle's tree, and Miracle Jr.'s, I think, wife's name is Edith Jacobson. I should get a hit for her. It seems to be a partial and corrupted list of archived articles from the Butler County Times. The article is cut off, but it mentions an Edith Jacobson and an arrest. Okay, so let's look for that in the local newspaper, because this might indicate what the legal troubles are. There's a Crime Blotter article about Edith that also mentions a Helen Roottrees and a Lucinda Jacobson. In 1971, when she was 18, Edith and her sister Lucinda, who were arrested for trespassing at the Miracle Congregation's church in Butler County. They were pretending to be church employees in an attempt to get into the room where the church houses their weekly tithings, but the church didn't press charges. They were caught by Helen Roottrees, who was there at the time, while her husband Miracle... Okay, we got Helen's name. We're looking for a Helen. Was away preaching. Helen Roottrees is quoted as saying, "Jesus forgives, and so do we. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and I'm confident he has brought these young women to us for a greater purpose." Okay, well that solves that mystery. So we have Helen Lennon, and by process of elimination, Elias C's wife must be Joan Monroe. I think that seems right. April, November. I think that the month names is the clue that you need there to make a deduction. EC, farmhand. I've got one photo left, and he's in the black and white photo with this generation. Now, what do they say about that photo? Mr. Morden. Was there? Okay. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it, and the 3 of us were all about the same age. Only the 5 pieces, which didn't go over well. Eventually, to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendoline. Then, well, he's not necessarily Mr. Morden, I don't think. Because Mr. Morden, they didn't take that photo by the sound of it. I mean, that's him. He doesn't have a photo with his entry, so that's not him. I think this has got to be EC. Now, what other evidence do we have from that time? We've got the old ad. Okay, so we've got these are the 5 pieces. There's no EC there. Okay, so G, E, C, E, M, miracle. Okay. Now, do I have any, says we can call her on the phone. Maybe that's worth a try? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Is there any piece of evidence that still has inspiration? Insight. Okay, so this entry. This is the Clark one, the free spirits. But I've done all those now. I thought this was related to their jobs, but maybe it's not. I don't get what's outstanding here. Did I look up her book though? Oh, what was her other name? Was it Cassell or Rafferty? X marks the spot, okay. Ooh! This is new. Keep an eye out for Lauren Roottrees' next book, Revisiting the Diary, 10 years later. Ooh. This could blow the whole thing wide open. Okay, let's copy that. Let's put that in there. Printing scandal. Ooh. This was a version of Lauren Roottrees' diary released in '75. Unlike the original, it contains no pictures, but it has many new passages that reflect on her thoughts 10 years later. One major event that happened between releases that changed Lauren's outlook on certain subjects, the death of Elias. A summary of the fallout has been added to your notes, as well as some other select pages. Okay, I think we're probably going to find what we need in here. 10 years later. The new diary... Okay, so we've got... I'm just going to sort of skip over and see where the... Don't have any inspiration, but the new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. So we're looking at sort of mid-60s to mid-70s. Elias Roottree had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud, Samantha Roottree. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retain the rights to run the farm, and any and all decisions related to it. It was then that the scandalous secrets came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone else, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Illegitimate. So, born out of wedlock or from a previous... Yeah, born out of wedlock, perhaps. Maybe they never got married. Anyway. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Eli Jr. harboured a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby Samantha was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away, and that was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr., and they finally married in their 50s. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic, quite appreciated this. When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottree in the first place. Even though she was not part of the Clancid Trust, he wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry entitled Sam. Okay, so Sam was brought up by EC. That's what we know. This is a page of additional notes and context from the 75 10-year anniversary re-release. It's a companion piece to the entry about Sam. Clearly, I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Roottree. All of my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwyn never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It has been a long, long time since any real Roottree was excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. So Ernie was Sam's son and went on to be the president, wasn't he? Yeah, okay, cool. Oh. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother, an adopted grandfather. So Gwyneth, yeah, we already had her down as farmer, that's, yeah, so that's cool. Oh, keep doing that. What I'm most ashamed of is not figuring it all out myself. Sam is a spitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. Okay, it's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operations would pass to Samantha Roottree for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money, after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor. Well, we know what that means in 50s, 60s parlance, don't we? And I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. Roommate, quote unquote. Okay, so I think we've got someone Miller is the partner, male partner, of EC. I think that's what we're getting towards. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either, but even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problems with us next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. Okay. Clark. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottree has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob and Gwyn divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlet. But neither of us ever took a second husband. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in this family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped. Could be him. Yeah, because we know that he was a bit of a father figure to Clark. We do know that. More than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. Diamond rock, I guess. So who knows what causes these things. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. We've kind of got this tree down already. Without her, he'd be the third wheel, and I imagine they wouldn't last long as a trio. But still, I don't think a marriage on such a shaky foundation like that can last, and Lord knows I was right last time. but addresses feedback. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary was how many similar names there are, and I get it. There are 4 Elis, for Pete's sake. But that's how it is. Someone would say, I saw Eli in town, and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin, and that's why they became Uncle Junior, Miracles Eli, or Eli C. But we know Miracles Eli. Eli C is the one we've previously mentioned. Our family's names were always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honour those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy, so now you see where my pop's name comes from. Yeah, Miracles Eli, Eli M, Elias C, Elias Roottrees. Oh, Uncle Junior. Okay, yeah, no, they're all accounted for then. Oh, let's keep going. One thing that always been consistent in our family, though, is that anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. That goes for Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. With the women, however, it all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Caroline. Who was Elias's mother? Who was Elias's mother? Women's names tend to get all mixed up as the generations went on. I guess that's because there's no female equivalent of junior. So if you're reading my diary and confused, you're not alone. Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy Roottrees. I had to break the news that they got my father's name backwards. Hello, EC. I think we figured it out. Edward Clancy Roottrees. So yeah, Clancy Edward Roottrees. So EC. He's a missing child, I think, by the way. We know this is someone Miller. And in fact, I think in her previous diary, she said the other farmhand's name was, it was Jay. It was John or James. I'll go back and check in a sec. But then we've got this last entry. A rather fun bonus. Apparently this is the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger, and she believes based on the teacher's name she must have been in the 3rd grade. She doesn't exactly remember the events spelled out here, but she does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, your Pop is my dad. She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing, so I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. He told me, don't worry, I am glad she is gone. Ooh. Infidelity hint there. But anywho, let's go back to this one. So this is we want the Sam entry again. EC and John. So I think we've got Edward Clancy Roottrees, and I think we have John Miller. Are we ready to unlock this? I think so. Farmhand was pre-entered. I'm pretty confident on both of these, so let's go. I'm ready. Confirm. But first, here's the final optional entries you found. Joan Monroe, April Quaritch, Ellen Lennon. Good. So the family tree complete. There we go. We got everyone. All the optionals as well. Booyah.
So, you thought EC was Edward Clancy Roottrees, and his partner was John Miller? That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Ooh.
I'm Sam Madsen, though you know me as Samantha Roottrees. Yep, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago. My book tells the truth about Elias, the 5 pieces, and my parents. Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers, Edward Clancy Roottrees and John Miller. By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just
I
an
read the
incredible
diaries.
guesser. Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning. My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not.
So Clancy Edward, Lauren's dad. Yeah, and Elias, the patriarch.
At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand.
Confirmed bachelor. Yeah, here we go.
Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable. The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC.
I don't think I saw this earlier ad. Egg cream, Steve, cinnamon. Yeah, so Miracle was born later and replaced him. I've never seen that piece of evidence. Yeah, okay.
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family. But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Laura never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
Oh, okay. I got angry when I met a new girl I did not like. She said, "Your pop is my dad." Well, they were twins, weren't they? EC and CE, so that makes sense. She just made a mistake. They looked similar, I guess.
Who could blame me for being so confused that
Here we
day?
go.
Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard. And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all, but there he is in the background. The 6th 5 piece.
Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom from a life she deemed unworthy. Patricia Christensen, steamy correspondence by Tina. I haven't seen this. How awful is it that such a beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin? An outcast, forced to a life of labour under a wicked relative. Patricia Christensen, steamy correspondence by Tina Angeline. I didn't find this piece of evidence.
Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the 5 pieces. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president. But due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy. A real Roottrees. He nearly ruined the company.
Yeah, Guy was the caviar flavor guy, wasn't he?
When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions. Ernie earned about $36.
What? Okay, I didn't find this. The yearly salary of Roottrees president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. Known as a bit of an eccentric and reclusive, opting to forego the typical luxuries of the average Rootree, Ernie Madsen Jr. I did see that. I'd never saw that.
They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point.
Yeah, Carl funded that, didn't he? And because he was kind of doing his own thing, Carl, he actually did have money. It's impossible to express my gratitude. Yeah, from the panic. Yeah, we did see that.
Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry.
Yeah, so I did see this about Robbie, the younger sort of Hollywood Rootree.
Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative. even out of wedlock.
Oh, okay, so you can kind of... I didn't realise that if you were pregnant and divorced your spouse, that your child would be out of wedlock. I didn't realise that. RR attempted two Roottrees... Oh, I never saw this. RR attempted two arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock.
That sounded familiar. The Clancid Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future.
I never looked I should have looked that up. It came up so often. The company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias. The Clancid Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to the many checks and balances written into it.
His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart.
It was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottree without completely dissolving the trust.
My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as, and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the Trust, as anyone else. The Clancid Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money. The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record straight, thanks to you. As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light. And when it does, my share of the Clancid Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning, set for life. Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete. Unless a whole lot more Roottrees somehow appear from thin air, this is the last time I'll come knocking. Thanks again, and so long.
There we go. Well, that was... Thanks to your hard work, Sam Madson's book was published. It received mixed reviews. Life went on, and a new president took over the company. The Roottree family faded from the news cycle. And then, everything changed. There's another mystery to solve. Roottree Mania is now unlocked as a new game. Okay. I'm not sure if I'll do that one. I'm a secret Roottrie. But that's pretty cool. It was tough at points. It was, but it was satisfying when you got like a set of 3 or later a set of 4 kind of confirmed, and that kind of went through the whole thing. It was a real sort of hit of satisfaction from having solved that. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was a nice mix of, just kind of detailed research of, really sort of micro-reading all these entries, just trying to get context as well, like things like, we'd bring home partners that our families wouldn't have approved of, led to something. Little things like that, as well as having things spelled out and then having to kind of think a little bit laterally in terms of, where might I learn about this type of information? And a lot of just trying the detective game equivalent of the adventure game trope of trying everything on everything else. It's, Googling everything in every periodical as well, trying to get a result, and sometimes managing it. And it's interesting, there was still evidence that I never found. It didn't occur to me to look for some of that stuff. But nevertheless, you were able to, either through process of elimination or just deductions, things like, okay, so there's 3 people with this name, one of whom's probably the father and the other 2 are their children. That fills that gap. Gradually chipping away at things. I really enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Do let me know in the comments your thoughts on this. Otherwise, if you could hit that like button, that'd be amazing. And if you could if you're watching this and not yet subscribed to the channel, if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you elsewhere on Boring Dad Gaming for other games and other playthroughs. Bye for now.